Hey everybody, it's Joric. Welcome back. I hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. It's been a while since I've made a Portugal video. Been on a little bit of a vacation and wanted to take a break from making any content. But as I got back, I was getting emails from a number of subscribers or people that aren't subscribers just asking basic and generic questions about moving to Portugal. And a theme kind of struck with me while I was getting these emails about people talking about the NHR, which has gone away, talking about golden visa for Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve, which has been gone for years. And yesterday, I was going back and forth with a subscriber that talked to a good friend and about people that are in certain countries, especially the UK, so England specifically, the United States, Canada, and Australia, who are going and still touting moving to Portugal and taking advantage of the NHR tax regime, or some people are still saying that you can move to specific areas and take advantage of the real estate golden visa, which again has been out in Porto, Lisbon, and the Algarve, Silver Coast, and some other areas for a few years now. And so I wanted to do a deep dive, and I started reaching out to some of these companies or specific agents who are putting on sessions and seminars just to get their input on it. And I found that in a few cases, people were being very disingenuous and not talking or talking around NHR. Some are still stating on their websites that golden visa opportunities for real estate in certain urban areas where you can't do that. And so I just wanted to make this video for those of you, many of you are already in Portugal or already in the moving process. But if you have family or friends and they're considering a move, or if you're considering a move here this year or next year, I just wanted to reiterate that the NHR program is no longer an option for you if that's something that you wanted to take advantage of. And the golden visa, I thought it's not something I made a video about anytime recently because it's no longer been a real estate issue, something that you could take advantage of for Porto, Lisbon, or the Algarve since I want to say 2020 or 2021, I think. So it's been a few years since you've been able to take that opportunity, but there are still people out there that are promoting it. And I'll be honest, I've looked at some, just in being back in Lisbon for a couple of days, I've looked at a couple of properties, and one in particular, the listing agent specifically says on the description on Idealista, golden visa opportunity. Not possible. And as I was going down a rabbit hole with someone who is presenting in the United States right now, and the gentleman and some representatives from his company were telling me, well, come the March election, which is going to happen here in a few weeks, the government's going to put the NHR back. They will find the error in their ways, I think is how he put the email, and they will bring the NHR back this year. And I wanted to, again, let those of you that are going to watch this video, please pass this along. There is zero evidence, none, zero, zip, nada, zed, whatever, none that suggests any of the parties or whatever coalition has to be formed to form a majority government, which is usually what happens here in Portugal. Nobody said anything about bringing back an NHR program or whether the way it was as of December 31st, 2023, or moving forward. There's nothing stated about a new budget that would include it or bring it back, or a conversation about bringing back golden visas. Most European countries have pulled them or severely restricted them in the past few years, so Portugal's just done what other EU countries have done. And the tax deal is gone. I don't see that coming back. And again, we're just a couple of weeks now, March 10th, away from the election, and none of the parties, they got bigger fish to fry here in Portugal and things that they're worried about. Employee wages, getting things, whether it be wages, taxes, infrastructure, other concerns. A tax break for people moving from another country is probably the 1,000th item on their list. to consider, and there's just been no talk about that. So if you're hearing from people or you're going to attend a seminar that says, hey, we're going to get the golden visa, not going to happen for real estate, and the NHR, if you ask a question and people are bringing up the NHR opportunity, it's not an opportunity. So just the whole point of the video is just I'm getting frustrated with people who are still touting it and are still pushing a move to Portugal, and that's the carrot that they're throwing out there. Portugal is still a fantastic place to come to, a great place to retire for a number of reasons. But if you're looking for the tax incentive, no longer exists. And if you're being told that you can get expedited visa, the golden visa, by moving into certain areas, it just isn't true. So hopefully you'll do more research, and again, the due diligence, I would say, as I've said in many of my videos, don't believe anything I have to say, go research it. But I hope those that are looking to move, those your friends or family that are considering it, are doing their diligence and watching a lot of YouTube videos from different people, going down a lot of blog articles and posts on different forums. But again, I didn't think that this would be, at the end of February 2024, a conversation that I would have to have where people are still planning on moving and making the assumption that they are going to get the NHR tax and or still going to be able to do a golden visa. I get it because, again, listing agents still here in Lisbon are still posting stuff with that information on them, so it's not just people abroad. But I do get frustrated when I see people in certain countries that are going in to have these sessions and seminars, and it seems like they can still talk about the greatness of moving to Portugal and the benefits of moving, let's say, moving away from your particular country. But when they're talking about getting benefits that no longer exist, that's disingenuous at the least. You know, even talking with an individual, someone emailed from Australia who was upset that I made a video a few months ago about you can't do the NHR anymore, and he's from Australia, and he was told by someone who is I'll say a person that promotes moving to Portugal, said I can still do the NHR, and no, you can't. And also, you don't have a tax treaty. Australia does not have a tax treaty with Portugal. And he was debating that, and I was just showing him all the countries that Portugal has a tax treaty from. If you can produce any evidence that shows that Australia has a tax treaty, that would be great news for people from Australia, but it just doesn't exist. So moving here, you would probably want the NHR protection, which doesn't exist, because you'll be paying full taxes in Portugal and full taxes in Australia. But the person that he sat in a seminar with told him otherwise. So I'm just trying to, again, you don't have to believe anything I have to say, and I get that, and I understand that. But if you're looking for, I guess where I'm trying to go with this video is get a lot of opinions from people. Make sure that you're going to government websites and getting government information. When I try to produce information or make a video for you, I try to state what the government has stated so that I'm not coming up with my own opinion, or sometimes it can be wacky. But it is important that if you're going to make a move, whether it be while you're still working or retiring, from one country to the next, wherever that is, you have to make sure that you understand completely what you're getting into and what the benefits are and how the benefits are changing from year to year as you see them, and the pros and cons of leaving where you live now and the pros and cons of where you're moving to. And it just it can be really frustrating for those of you when people are not giving you accurate information. So just really, my video is more of a rant and rave video, but just buyer beware and don't get fooled, and ask questions. Be curious, keep asking questions so that you don't end up here or someplace else and you move and you have a bunch of gotchas after you move because you didn't do the research or you were told certain things that just aren't true upon moving. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. Enjoy your travels.